Hey everybody, this is Danelle. Hope this finds you doing well. Today we're going to take a look back, have a more of a bird's eye view. We try to do this every so often, just so everyone can just relax a little bit, take the time to continue to research, do your due diligence, particularly if you're interested in investing in cryptocurrencies. But also it's always a good way to just take some perspective on where we are right now. When you think about where Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market was at the beginning of 2024 and where we are nearing the end of 2024, a lot has happened since the beginning of this year. And things are definitely looking on the up and up when we consider that Bitcoin was trading in that range from around 60 to 70,000 for basically around 7 months, which is actually a good thing sometimes when you look at it from a technical perspective. That's usually considered the accumulation zone. And generally a stock or a crypto could usually pop up as soon as it gets away from that accumulation zone. So we see here, Bitcoin is still trading in that $100,000 range, and it's actually pretty good that we're staying in this $93,000 to $100,000 range and just kind of bounce around there for a little while. So then we can have another mini accumulation phase and then potentially have that next leg up when we get towards $115,000, maybe even $120,000 Bitcoin. But it can take some time. We don't want it to just go straight up and all the way up and to the right. We love hearing about rocket ships, but it's not necessarily healthy when you look at it from a technical perspective, because traders, that's a dream for them. When they see something that just skyrockets up, they're ready to put in shorts because they know that at some point there's going to be a leg down. And sometimes it can be even more drastic than the leg up. So you want to keep that in perspective when you're looking at investing and trading in cryptocurrencies. So we can see here the top 10, Bitcoin, of course, number one, trading at around $100,000 at the time of this recording. Ethereum trying to get back to that $4,000 range, currently trading at $3,900. XRP at around $2.43, kind of cooling off a little bit since it did hit above around 250 or so, and now it's kind of come back a little bit. We'll see what that does over the next several weeks and months. Solana has been overtaken by XRP, currently trading at $223, down over 5% over the past 7 days. So we'll see if it can get back up towards the 230s that it was trading in over the last couple of weeks. We have BNB, Dogecoin, the top meme coin of them all, still over 40 cents, trading right at 40 cents. You see Cardano, number 9, Tron, number 10, and Avalanche holding in there at number 11, still trying to get back into the top 10. And you can see if we look at, I usually don't go past the top 10 or so, but if we look here in the top 20, Pepe, which is another meme coin, along with Shiba Inu, there's 3 meme coins in the top 20. A lot of people believe that this cycle is going to be the cycle of meme coins. Obviously, that remains to be seen. But when we see another coin get into the top 20 of the cryptocurrencies currently trading at $10 billion market cap, it's pretty spectacular to see. But obviously, you have to consider and think about what is the utility of meme coins, why are meme coins popular, which ones are the most popular and have the ability to continue to grow into a larger market cap. That's something to think about if you're interested in meme coins. We obviously are not financial advisors, but we would say that you make sure that you do your due diligence and do as much research as possible before even considering investing or trading, not only in meme coins, but in cryptocurrency in general. Now, if we go and look at the broader perspective of Bitcoin and where we are when it comes to the top assets by market cap, gold still trading at number 1, currently over $17 trillion. Apple, which is the number 1 public company in the world, is currently trading at $3.75 trillion. And they've seen a nice run up over the last couple of months. And you see all the top tech companies, especially those in the Mag 7, when you look at Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, and Alphabet right behind Apple. And then you see Bitcoin is at number 7. For a period of time, it was actually above Google, but Google, they had a recent event related to some of the new products that they have coming out and the announcement of their quantum chip. So that has brought a lot of excitement with regards to Google and what their future looks like. And so they've gone on a nice little run over the past week or two. And so now we have Bitcoin right behind Alphabet, currently trading at that $2 trillion mark. So we're still less than an 8x behind gold. A lot of people have been calling Bitcoin digital gold. And so many people believe as the best store of value, it will at some point overtake gold. Obviously, that remains to be seen. But if that's the case, then Bitcoin would be at around $800,000. So it's hard to imagine right now, but I'm sure back in the day in 2013, 2014, when Bitcoin was trading in the hundreds of dollars, people could not imagine that it would actually get to $100,000 one day. But we are there. We are at $100,000, a six-figure Bitcoin. So is it possible for it to get to seven figures? We think so, because it seemed impossible 7, 8, 9 years ago for us to get to six figures. We're here now. So how soon could we get to seven figures? It could be in the next several years. We have no idea. Some people are even saying next year. We're not going to go that far, but we definitely think that the future is still looking very bright for Bitcoin. So if we take a look at the spot Bitcoin ETF volumes, you can see here around the time that Bitcoin reached the all-time high and breaking that 100,000 ceiling on December 4th, you can see that there was a lot of volume. Even in November, after some of the catalysts here in the United States, you see that the volumes continue to go up and they're still staying pretty steady. And you can see that Bitcoin ETFs are doing quite well, bringing in billions of dollars of Bitcoin, buying billions of dollars of Bitcoin every single day. And if we want to put that in perspective, you see here, how many Bitcoins are there? We know that the finite number is 21 million. As you can see, there are currently over 19.9 million in existence, currently circulating in the supply. And so there's just a little over a million left to be mined. And you can see about 450 Bitcoin are being mined per day. And when we go back and look and see how much these Bitcoin ETFs are bringing in, they're on some days bringing in tens of thousands of Bitcoin, or I should say buying tens of thousands of Bitcoin in one day. So they're totally eclipsing the number of Bitcoin that are actually being mined. So it just goes to show that these ETFs, the public companies, the countries that are now looking to buy into Bitcoin, people like me and you who are buying into Bitcoin and holding, it just goes to show that when you think about the demand that continues to come into the space, and those who say they will not be selling for a while and plan on holding for a while because they believe it's a store of value against fiat currencies that continue to be inflated, then that's just going to continue to drive the price higher and higher. So definitely something to consider when you're looking into Bitcoin. Look at it from a bird's eye view, what's actually happening. And when you see that only 450 Bitcoin are mined per day and that thousands and thousands of Bitcoin are being bought per day by these Bitcoin ETFs, and that's just the Bitcoin ETFs, we just have to see that most likely just the general law of economics when it comes to supply and demand, Bitcoin has a high chance of continuing to go up in price. We can see here that the Bitcoin ETFs now hold more than Satoshi Nakamoto. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. So they now own more than 1.1 million Bitcoin in total. All of the Bitcoin ETFs that are out in the publicly traded markets. You can see here that as of this past week, as of Friday, December 13th, all of the Bitcoin ETFs now hold over 1.2 million Bitcoin, which is a value of around 131 billion today. Countries have about 500,000. Public companies, a little over 560,000. Private companies, over 360,000. The Bitcoin mining companies, which are now, a lot of them are going to be taking on the MicroStrategy strategy because it's very cost intensive to run miners and to be able to mine Bitcoin. So a lot of them now are looking into alternative ways to be able to buy Bitcoin and hold Bitcoin, because there was a time when some of these miners had to sell Bitcoin in order to cover their expenses. And now they're looking at opportunities like convertible bonds and at the market offerings or selling their shares at the market like MicroStrategy has done, to be able to raise money to buy more Bitcoin so they can have more Bitcoin on the balance sheet, because it's becoming more and more obvious that Bitcoin is going to continue to raise in value. And what's interesting about the public company haul of 560,000 is that MicroStrategy actually holds over 420,000 of the 560. So many believe there's no way that any other company could catch MicroStrategy, the only companies really that could probably catch them is a company that's in the Mag 7, someone in this asset top of the list of assets by market cap, and Microsoft, which did have their shareholder vote last week. They decided not to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. They voted no, and we found out that approximately 0.55% actually of micro shareholders voted yes. So it just goes to show that we're still pretty early when you think about over 99% of Microsoft shareholders, and it's a legacy company at this point, a legacy tech company, that their shareholders, 99%, over 99.4% of these shareholders have chosen not to vote for having Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So they still believe that there's other ways for them to invest their money, not only via providing dividends to their shareholders with fiat currency. They have chosen, at least at this time, not to invest in Bitcoin. So it seems like they're still wedded to the past, and digital assets, at least from our perspective, are the future. So it'll be interesting to see, and this is an interesting question, who will outperform the next 10 years? Will it be Microsoft or will it be MicroStrategy? So far, since MicroStrategy started their Bitcoin strategy, a Bitcoin accumulation strategy in, I believe it was August of 2020, they have outperformed every company in the S&P 500. That includes NVIDIA, that includes Apple, and that includes Microsoft. So we'll be interested to see what happens with MicroStrategy over the next 10 years. Will it outperform Microsoft? We shall see, and we'll definitely keep you posted on that. So you can see here, as I mentioned, miners are adopting the same Bitcoin acquisition strategy as MicroStrategy. So because of the fact that there is pressure on profitability following the reward halving, because every 4 years the Bitcoin reward is cut in half. So it used to be 900 Bitcoin that was mined every day. Now it's 450. So with the fact that it's so expensive to run these Bitcoin miners are finding that it's going to be very difficult to continue their business and operating business unless they find other ways to accumulate Bitcoin and be able to hold that Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So we just wanted to make sure that you had a general overview of kind of what's happening in the cryptocurrency market, particularly with Bitcoin. You see that we can continue to climb up this ladder of assets by market cap. You can see we're in the top 10. We've surpassed silver. We've jumped over Google for a moment. Now we're back behind Google, but we're definitely coming for gold, coming for NVIDIA, coming for Microsoft, coming for Apple. So we'll definitely keep you posted on that. So make sure to stay tuned with us here on X as well as on IG. We post there nearly every day. And of course, we'll be here every week on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you following us here, and we look forward to linking up with you soon on the Networkchain. In the meantime, take care. Bye-bye.